students. So today I am going to explain electrostatics of conductors. Electrostatics of conductors. That is, here I will explain the electrostatic properties of a conductor. So the first property is, inside a conductor the electrostatic field is zero. Inside a conductor the electrostatic field is zero. Now let me explain why. So you consider a conductor. This is a conductor, suppose. This is a conductor. So you know that a conductor has free charges. That means the movement of charges can take place. So this is suppose a conductor. Now suppose you apply an external electric field. External electric field means what? Say we place the conductor between two plates where one is positive, another is negative. Now here an external field is applied in the direction from positive to negative. So this is the external field we are applying. Now as the conductor has free charges, so the movement of charges takes place. Now movement of charges means what? As this is positive, so here it attracts the negative charges. So negative charges of the conductor move towards this end and the positive charges of the conductor moves towards this end. That means there will be an induced electric field inside the conductor. So this will be the induced electric field. Induced electric field, E induced, which is in a direction opposite to what? Applied field. So this is the applied field inside, direction from this positive to this negative, and this is the induced field, direction from this positive to this negative. So what will be the net field? Net field inside the conductor is E naught minus E induced, because they are in opposite direction, and total field will be zero. That means you can say that inside a conductor the induced field is developed, which is equal and opposite to the applied electric field, so that the net electric field inside the conductor is zero. So here you can say that since the conductor has free charges, so the movement of charges takes place till the induced electric field becomes equal to the applied electric field, so that the total field inside the conductor become zero. So you have to remember this property, that is, inside a conductor the electrostatic field is zero. Okay. So second property is at the surface of a charged conductor, at the surface of a charged conductor, the electrostatic field is normal to, so the electrostatic field is normal to the surface, at every point, Okay, so the second property is, at the surface of a charged conductor the electrostatic field is normal to the surface at every point. So now let me explain why the electric field must be, in fact it will be, it is must be, you can say, must be. at the surface of a charged conductor, the electrostatic field must be normal to the surface of charged conductor. Now let me show you why the electrostatic field must be normal to the surface. So you see, this is suppose a charged conductor. This is suppose a charged conductor. So here charges are there. This suppose here on the surface. So these are the charges, say for example. So here suppose a charge is there, Q. Now first of all you see these are the electrostatic properties. Electrostatic property means what? Charges are at rest. Now here I am telling you that the electrostatic field must be normal. Now let us see, if it is not normal, then what would happen? Now suppose here an electric field exists and it is like this. Say, just take example, the electric field at this point is suppose inclined at some angle. Now if the electric field is not normal, if it is inclined, then what would happen? This electric field has two components, one along this direction, another along this direction. So this component, you know, it will be E cos theta and it will be E sin theta. That means along the surface there is a component of electric field. So on this charge there will be force. On this charge there will be force along the surface. Along the surface on the charge, and that force will be what? You know, F equal to QE. Here we are taking this component, here it is QE cos theta. Now as this charge experiences a force along the surface, then what would happen? Because of this force, the charge moves along the surface. This charge will move along the surface. But we know that electrostatic property means what? Charges must be at rest. So if the charges must be at rest, means the charge is not moving at all. That means what? It must not experience any force along the surface. So that means there must not be any electric field along the surface. So if there is no electric field along the surface, that means electric field must be normal. Because if the electric field is normal, then it will have no components. So if the electric field is normal means what? It is perpendicular. Suppose now only the electric field is here, normal. So now there will be no component along the surface. So obviously the charge will not move because it will not experience any force. So there will be no movement of charge occurs along the surface. So we can say that there must not be electric field which is along the surface. So you can say that at the surface of a charged conductor, the electrostatic field must be normal to the surface. If not, then the charge on the surface experiences a force along the path, and which may move the charges. That means charge will move, so it will not be an electrostatic property. Okay. So this is the second property. Now let me explain the third one. The third property is the electrostatic potential inside a conductor is always constant. So this is one of the most important property. That is the electrostatic potential inside a conductor always constant. So that means what? Let me explain you why. So we know inside a conductor electric field is zero. Just I have explained earlier. Now electric field, I have given you a relation between electric field and potential. E is equal to minus dV by dr. So it is 0, or dV is equal to 0. Now what is dV? dV is what? Change in potential. So change in potential is 0. So it means potential is constant. So this is very important property. That is, the electrostatic potential at every point inside the surface is constant. Constant means what? Its value is same with the value on the surface. You can say that the potential at every point inside the conductor always remains constant and is equal to the value on its surface. So you can say that the potential at every point inside a conductor always remains constant and is equal to the value on the surface. Now whatever the value of potential on the surface, it would remain same throughout the remain same inside the conductor. Okay. So let me give you one example, then it will be more clear. So let us take one example. That is, suppose this is a conductor. Suppose consider a sphere, and suppose it is given its radius, suppose 3 centimeter. Suppose given, and suppose it has charge Q, suppose 2 coulomb, or suppose some charge is given. So charge Q. Now, so it is given that the potential at a point on the surface is 10 volt, and you have to find what is the potential at a distance of say 2 centimeter from the center of the sphere. So let us take one example. So the potential at a point of the surface of the sphere is 10 volt. Now you are asked to find what is the potential at a distance of 2 centimeter from the surface. Now you see the radius of the sphere is 3 centimeter. So at the surface it is given 10 volt. So 2 centimeters means what? Inside the sphere. And as I have told you, inside the sphere the potential remain constant. So inside at every point, even at the center also, the potential must be what? 10 volt. So what will be your answer? The answer is 10 volt. Because inside the potential remain constant and whose value is equal to the value on its surface. So this property you have to remember. Okay. Now move to the next property. Number 4. Interior of the interior of a conductor can have no excess charge in the static situation. Okay, the fourth property is the interior of a conductor can have no excess charge in the static situation. Means when the conductor, when it is in static situation, means electrostatics, then there should not be any excess charge. Means total charge must be 0 inside the conductor. Now let me prove this statement. Here it is given that inside a conductor there should not be any excess charge, means there must be equal number of positive charge and equal number of negative charge, that is charge of protons and electrons, and total charge must be 0. Now how can you explain? So already I have told you that inside a conductor the electric field is 0, that we know. Inside a conductor electric field is always 0. Now if the electric field is 0, it means what? It means what? The electric flux linked to the sphere must be 0. As the electric field is 0, so the electric flux also 0. Now if we apply Gauss theorem, the electric flux is given by Q by epsilon naught. Now since the flux is 0, so you can say that the charge inside is 0. So there must not be any excess charge inside a conductor. The reason is that you apply the first property, that is the electric field inside the conductor is 0, so electric flux is 0, so there must not be any net charge inside a conductor. Now you don't confuse, there is positive charge as well as negative charge, because every atom contains both positive and negative charges, but there should not be any excess charge, means there should not be net positive charge or net negative charge. Total charge must be 0. So this is the fourth property. Now move to the fifth one. Fifth property is the electric field at any point on the surface of a charged conductor is sigma by epsilon. So the electric field at any point on the surface of a charged conductor is sigma by epsilon. First of all, this is one of the very important property, because in exam the questions may come show that the electric field at any point on the surface of a conductor is sigma by epsilon. So you have to prove this. So let us prove this statement. So this is, suppose you consider any conductor, maybe this is conductor, suppose charged conductor. So charges are, suppose here the charges on the surface. Now what you have to do, you draw a Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface, and this Gaussian surface is very tiny, smallest, infinitely small, you can say. Infinitely small means what? Suppose its height is negligible. Height of the cylinder, suppose, is negligible. Height is negligible. That means we are considering an infinitely small cylinder. That means you can say it only suppose cover the surface only. Okay, it will not go inside. Only it cover the surface portion. And suppose its cross section area is A. And here suppose the charge density, suppose the whole conductor at charge density is sigma, and the enclosed charge, suppose Q. As we know, charge density is constant throughout the conductor. Now if we apply Gauss theorem through this cylinder, then what you can write? Electric flux, it will be integration, you know that, E dot ds. The flux, you know, Q by epsilon, apply Gauss theorem here. So it will be integration E ds cos theta. And theta will be 0 here, because we know that electric field always normal to the surface. So here this is the electric field, the direction of electric field, positive charges are there, and here on the surface we draw a normal, is also same direction. So theta will be what? 0, because we are considering a cylinder which only covers the surface. Its height is negligible. So Q by epsilon, E you can take outside, integration ds, cos 0 is 1, Q by epsilon E. What is integration ds? Total area. As you consider, it is small cylinder, so it only has the circular portions. Height is negligible. So it is A. So E will be Q by A epsilon. So you know Q by A means sigma. So sigma by epsilon. So it is very simple. So it is proved that the electric field at any point on the surface of a charged conductor is E equal to sigma by epsilon. Okay. So this is the fifth property. Now move to the last one. That is electrostatic shielding. Electrostatic shielding. Now what do you mean by shielding? Shielding means protecting. It is called shielding. So as I have already told you, inside a conductor the electric field is always zero. Now suppose this is a conductor and suppose there is a cavity. This is a cavity. Cavity means what? A hollow part inside a conductor. So we know that inside the conductor electric field is always zero and potential is what? Constant. So you can say that whatever be the field outside, suppose there may be some external field outside. So there is electric field outside, but the field inside is always zero because this is a property. Inside a conductor electric field is always zero. So you can say that whatever be the charge configuration, whatever be the outside electric field, the electric field inside a cavity is always zero. So inside the cavity electric field is zero means this space, this region of space is protected from the external electric field. So suppose you want to keep some instruments which is to be protected from electric field. Then you can keep the device or instrument in that particular regions because in the cavity electric field is zero. So that instrument will be protected from the external electric field. So electric shielding means what? That is, it is simply the property by which some instruments, some devices may be protected from external electric field by keeping it inside a cavity of a conductor, because inside the cavity the electric field is zero. So this is all about the electrostatic properties of a conductor. So I have explained 6 properties. The first one, the inside a conductor electrostatic field is zero. Second one, at the surface of a charged conductor electrostatic field must be normal at every point. The third one, the electrostatic potential is constant inside a conductor. Fourth one, the interior of a conductor can have no excess charge in the static situation. And fifth one, the electric field at the surface of a charged conductor is that one, sigma by epsilon. And last one, electrostatic shielding, that is the protection of certain region of space of a conductor from external electric field. Okay, thank you.